Hello, hello, welcome in. And now we are not at Emerald Lake. This is Vi's Apothecary instead. Hello. But this is me, Raven. We are reading some SCPs tonight while Apothecary sitting. So we are at Vi's place still. But we are on to another SCP. It is a very long one. I am fairly concerned we will not finish it, but the good news is that it has little chapter marks. So we can end at a chapter, and that will be good. And I am not going to be streaming as late as my schedule says because I realized I have to do things tomorrow. And unfortunately have to wake up early for them, which is stupid. But yes, necessary. Hello everybody! Hello Lahong, hello Arctic, hello Yar, hello Devod. Scroll. Hello Nice Guy, scroll. Hello Ruin, scroll. Okay, I caught up. Alright. Oh, little flower froggy. Cutie. Alright. We're going to... We're going to prep the... Prep the SCP entry. What we have is a Rounderhouse's proposal. It is the Rounderhouse's bone proposal. Heck of a title. But it is 5 parts here that we are reading. Unless the chapter 1 starts below. It does. Okay, so it is 6 parts, sort of. There's just like a little bit of a lead in. Ooh. Okay. I got distracted. Okay, I will have to do that later. All right. Hello, Hakun. Hello, Toast. I checked the DMs. I will deal with it later. Everybody, but thank you. And I gentle persons is a great entry. I love that. Did you get a 20? Damn, and 110. How did you get the maxes? This feels like a cheat, but look, is my little bot right there. How did you do that? Toast is doing good. Got max on both. Damn. Oh, that is a very cute line, Hakun. I read it for everyone. Raven, have I taken a loan from you? Because my interest in you is increasing each day. It's a very cute one. I will. You need to have a word with a goose. Oh, because you have all of the numbers on your side now? Is that why? We are going to get started on reading. I'm going to try to focus because, like I said, there's a lot of story, and I do not know if I will be able to pull this off. I will say I have listened to my VOD, and I do end up sounding kind of robotic. I don't sound robotic in my feedback right now. Let me know if there's any weird audio hiccups or if I sound like a robot. If it suddenly changes is the biggest thing. And I have the 3DO up and running available too, but I'm just nervous that it's gonna sound funky as well because it had some funkiness. But there you go. And as always, we will do redeems in between. I'll have a break between each chapter so that we can do redeems. But for right now, let's just... That's still very loud in my ears, but I'm aware it's not too loud for you guys. Thank you for the subscription there. I appreciate it nightly. Let's throw a little money frau party here. Bam! Katie's not the villain. 54%. That's not too bad. How did that copy? How did what copy? What? I lost. Anyway. Little daisies. Thank you very much. And that's a cute little hug. Oh my gosh. Okay. We will begin. Rounderhouse's proposal. Money frog. Hey! 7 TV emotes. They're working. Look at that. I begin. It's at the top, it just says, well, at the very top, there's a funky thing that I can't quite read the way things are set up, and I couldn't do it. But I think it says red tape, and then 1 minutes to midnight, like the world doomsday clock. How close we are to midnight is how close we are to doomsday and end of the world. I think that's what that's referencing. And then we have at the start of a Rounderhouse joint a little entry that looks like messages back and forth. We had red bubbles and we have greeny bubbles, green blue bubbles. And so we'll start. Oh, I'm always back and forth between comments. I have a new name. Say, old one, I will be pretty upsetty spaghetti about it. Oh, okay, Bittersweet Jocelyn. Your name is only Bittersweet Jocelyn. Good news is I literally... Oh, I was supposed to do a thing. I forgot about a thing. I wanted to make... I found out that you can make nicknames for people in different channels, and I will keep that in mind. Oh, go ahead and lurk. Enjoy your lurky. Thank you. I try to focus. Like I said, red bubbles, green blue bubbles. Here we go. Red bubble says hello with a period. And then I'm confused. This is unfamiliar. This is new. All very proper grammar capitalization. But blue bubble doesn't have capitalization. He's managing to use punctuation though. Hey there, settle down. Just tell me what you know about yourself. Back to red bubble. My identifier is all caps xenophon.aic. I am a Gen 9.aic developed and stored aboard RACA Site 7 in a classified location in the North Atlantic. My current uptime is 0 days, 0 hours, 3 minutes, and 45 seconds. And there you go. And then, how do I know that? And then, because I'm designed to know things. Stupid question. Oh, poor little AIC not doing well. When origami is when I get back to Emerald Lake. As long as I am at Vi's place, I did not plan on doing origami. But here we go with emotes only for 1 minute. Oh boy, okay. It'll be approximately 1 minute. Let me tell you that, okay? He's a Gen 9 Pokemon. No. Gen 9 AIC. Alright, after... Because I'm designed to know things. Stupid question. We have, don't worry about it. Take your time to get your bearings, Green says. I don't exactly know how it feels for you, but flex your fingers. See what you still have access to. Red responds, I am programmed with a level 5/triad clearance. This gives me access to a sum total of 7,235 documents, transcripts, and files across the SciPnet database. You said... Still, this implies I have been activated before. Blue-green responds, you were. You don't remember? Red says, I have no records of previous uptime. Green, that's not great. Seems the hard reboot might have involved RACA techs fucking with your memory banks. How do you feel? Red responds, I don't know what feeling is. Did you enjoy your remote? Did you enjoy your remotes only there, guys? Okay. Green says, right, dumb question. And then, well, let me lay it out for you. You were a Gen 9.aic specifically commissioned and developed to serve as the lead investigator on a Foundation research initiative. Something they couldn't trust a human with. Not again. And then... You were designed to be an impartial, unshakable observer and cataloger of information about the quibbles and follies we've had. Quibbles and follies. And then Red, I see. And then, what was the project in question? End of the pre-ramble. I miss the big eye left. Oh, I have not seen. I did recently see somebody talking about it and all the little things. I'm torn because there are people that really don't like animation, which I just cannot. I mean, evidently, I cannot relate to. I like an animated thing. I like that art. I like the way it's made. I don't feel a need for something to be live action for me to relate to it. And I really like that movie. So changing it up, it can kind of make sense because how are they gonna make it? But also, doing it the exact same way feels very boring. What's the point of another movie if it's exactly the same except for the art style, And like, why do this? So I'm not particularly picky about it. I don't think they're doing the remakes for the right reasons. Of course, they're just churning out money is the real problem. When they make a proper twist, when they do something really different, I'm on board because it's something different, but it has to be from a sort of significant stance, and it shouldn't be something that's getting rid of the core of the values of it. And from what I hear, there's some really impactful scenes that they apparently, it's funny because I just watched this, really impactful scenes that they yoinked according to accusations, and that's not holding the story true. But like, if you have something that gets the same point across, then I'm on board. I would have to watch it to really know. But here's the biggest thing: every movie, sequel, remake, unique, they're all their own thing. You can just watch it as a standalone and enjoy it exactly as it is, and people will. We don't need to pick it apart too much. And there's a lot of, like, especially with a Disney, I think are kids gonna enjoy watching pretty colors and fun voices? Yep, then it's good. It did its job. Check. So I don't know, lots of different points of view on it, to the point of I'm like, yeah, you're right, no matter what you said. There you go. Alright, with that interruption, we officially start Rounderhouse's bone proposal. Bone? Dumb reference. Okay. Chapter 1, The Archive of Nadoq. Nadoq. That's how I'll be pronouncing it as we go along. I'll add a extra line. So we'll do the chapters as well. There's a little quote at the very top, and it says, "The slave's soul cannot be free so long as his body is chained. True liberation is the liberation of the flesh, and the slave's flesh can only be liberated when the blood of the master is spilled." From the Fifth Truth of Ian? I-U with a line over it, N. Very interesting to be saying, and I'm very curious where this is gonna go. Doing a quick scan. I'm curious as hell what this is. This was a recommendation from NURIAKEA as usual. I mean, it's like at least 80% of my recommendations for SCPs are NURIAKEA. But this is interesting. Yes, it is an SCP-001. So this is wild. Okay. Level 4 001 classified. Item number SCP-001 Euclid is what the text at the top. Then there's a photo that looks like cave paintings. A few of them kind of look like giraffes, or like giraffe centaurs, where there's little bitty arms way up near the head. Or maybe those are just big ass ears or horns, I don't know. That one looks kind of like it might be a horse, or it might be a dinosaur. That one looks like it's a ballerina. And that one looks like a man with an erection. There are some interesting doodles. Oh, actually, this one right here. Are you holding a bow and arrow? Possibly, maybe a little bit wrong. Hi, dude. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. But it's a hell of a little thing. I will say the wall that we are looking at, it actually looks like it's a chair or a shelf, because we have flat wall space, and then right at the edge, paintings, and then there's a little indent. The wall goes in, and when it goes back up to being vertical, more doodles. So it kind of looks like it's a bench or a shelf or something. Very fun. There might not be. I don't know why I see this. I'm saying what they kind of look like. And some of them look like ballerinas or a dinosaur. That one kind of looks like a seahorse wing on somebody with legs. I couldn't tell you what that is. That guy looks kind of like he's got a bow and arrow, but he's using it a little bit wrong. That one looks like an emu. Those look like weird giraffes. I don't know. And then, yeah, there's the one guy. Some of the doodles, these things, some of them are etches, some of them are paintings. I can't fully tell because, like, some of it is erosion. They're definitely not fully there anymore, but the ones that are very visible, I have described. Oh, well, there's also one line. That's it. Okay, and underneath it says SCP-001 Alpha Paintings. Special Containment Procedures. GOI-001 Alpha is currently under intense surveillance by Foundation assets. So this is a group. Description. SCP-001 is the mythical city of Black Aditum. Aditum? I'm going to say Aditum. The capital of the NURIAKEA. N-A with umlauts. L-K-A with umlauts. That stretched across Central and Eastern Asia in the 3rd millennium BCE. Black Aditum was described by contemporary sources as an ancient metropolis, a dead city, a city of the dead, a mausoleum, a tomb nation, a failed experiment, a monument to atrocity, and other various descriptors. So there might indeed be dinos and weird giraffe centaur things. We don't know what this is. As of writing, the Hussein hypothesis is the current prevailing belief among Parahistory Division experts that Black Aditum never existed. Ooh. Thank you for the hydrate. Okay, no worries. You don't have to announce to me when you leave if you don't want to. I like the updates, but I want to reiterate that I don't keep attendance here. You guys are good however you choose to be. But thank you very much for the hydrate. Yep, boop. Alright. Now we have section 001.1, historical context. Para-history. Ooh, thank you for that update. Very important things to learn from your various random translations. Hunger. Land of Hunger is very... Ooh, okay. Boop, 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 boop. Yes, parahistory. The 6 Aegean tablets recovered from the Sea of Crete by the French crown's Estate Noire, Black House, prior to the Revolution, were the first discovered mentions of Bronze Age advanced human civilizations. Oh, that's Finnish. Well, then who knows what they meant over here, because this is Eastern and Central Asia. But okay, or at least, yeah, it did. Okay, this is first discovered mentions of Bronze Age advanced human civilizations and led directly to the discovery of Amani Ram and later Mamjul and Korar. Don't know these. The full set of 6 tablets were finally fully translated in 2020. Yay! They deal with, first, the existence of a forgotten world, in quotes, ruled by 3 massive technologically and magically advanced empires. 2. The origins of the Davic Covenant. 3. The origins of the Nalka. 4. The origins of the cult of the broken god and the Mechanite Empire. 5. Details of the apocalyptic war between the three, Nalka, Cult of Broken God, and Mechanite Empire? Question mark. I don't know if that's the three. And then 6. Theories on the origin of the three-prong army, in quotes, that swept across Asia, annihilating the aforementioned cultures. The 6th tablet was damaged before entering Foundation custody, leaving it partially unreadable. The Parahistory Division's translation of the 3rd tablet is attached. Okay, 3rd tablet, The Origins of the Nalka, which is what we're about to read. Attached document, December 2020. At Nalka. 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 Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to jump on that very much. I gotta focus. Here we go. Translation. Root, blood in bold, steel. Blood spilling from the gaping wounds of Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth, one word. Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth. As he lies sundered and weeping on the coast of the sea. Run through and maimed by its brethren, cast down to earth just as they were cast down to earth by him. Hot tears of pain, of betrayal, filling the once dry canyon, turning it into an open bay as he dies a god's death. Blood spilt onto the boards of the great, grand ships as the cruel slave masters flay the skin off the backs of their stock. Icky, icky, icky. Moans of pain from the flock without a shepherd as they row forward, begging for deliverance from agony. The fleet landing on the sandy shores of their new territory. Slaves being led off the arks in chains to lay the foundations of their master's kingdom. Blood dripping from the brow of a nameless slave as he marches with 5 others, dragging huge blocks of stone to the new kingdom's first creation, Aditum, a temple vast and grand, nestled safely into the ground as an offering to their Lord Scarlet. Isn't that one of the things you guys talk about? The Scarlet Lord or something? Way back when we started SCP, people were murmuring about this one guy. This isn't him, right? Or is this like just a little bit of a vague reference to him? Because I'm like, who? Isn't that? Okay. Endless corridors in this underground labyrinth, meant to hold the bodies of the hundred slaves sacrificed for this construction. And yes, it's written as 100-100. I don't know if it's supposed to be like 1,000. I don't know. Ooh, it is the Scarlet King, and it is probably the same. Oh shit. Oh shit. This is gonna be very messed up. I do not have my little trigger warning that I often put up when I'm at Emerald Lake for SCPs. So, verbally saying now, you've gotten a taste of this. I don't think it's going to get more wholesome. If this is something that is already making you on edge, if these words that are in this are spooking you, definitely go ahead and just catch us for a different stream, okay? I'm nervous for you. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Blood leaking as he stumbles, foot catching over a sharp bone protruding from the silt and soil. He and his slave brethren kneel, digging out of the clay for 2 days and 2 nights, until the whole of Yaldabaoth's form lies exposed, weeping and bleeding and dying, flesh and bone knitted into a mass. Meat thrumming with dominance, what that frickin' means, with superiority, with power. Blood gushing as he kneels, shearing into the meat with a crude knife of bone, taking the sacred flesh into his mouth, chewing and swallowing, eating his god, becoming divine. Ugh. Blood flowing flooding the gutters of the nameless city as the slaves rise up with him, overthrowing their yokes and slaughtering their erstwhile masters, blood pooling as his followers take the ritual, taking a piece of the divine into them as Yaldabaoth bleeds and weeps, cursing the name the slave has chosen. Ian of the Nalka, I-U-N, of the Nalka with the U having a line, Witch King of Black Aditum. Is this... is this supposed to be the Scarlet King, or is that this is a guy following the Scarlet King? Because one of these... blood dripping from his blouse, he marches with 5 others. They drag blocks, a temple nestled in the ground as an offering to their Lord Scarlet. Okay, so they're going to... Ian. Okay, so Ian. Ian. With the I first. Yeah. In comparison, yeah. That is no god. Okay. So this is maybe they are 2 Scarlet King, or maybe this is a coincidental similar name. But now we know Ian of Nalka, of the Nalka, Witch King of Black Aditum. Ian. Alright, that was the 3rd tablet. But now we move on. As discovered by doctors Robert Aram and Hedvig Nussbaum, large parts of the Mechanite dogma were predicated on a deep-seated cultural hatred for the Nalka. Nalka? Yeah. Stemming chiefly from their liberal use of carnomancy, flesh magic. Ugh. Okay. Which flew in direct opposition of the cult of the broken gods' transhumanist beliefs. This religious divergence was one of the chief causes for the first occult war that erupted in Asia in the 2nd millennium BC between the Broken Empire, the David Covenant, and the Nalka. The war of attrition would result in a catastrophic decline of all 3 cultures before their eventual toppling by the 3-pronged army, and then in brackets likely associated with the historical sea peoples, led by the Black Star, all caps Black Star. I don't know how many of these terms you guys are aware of. Most of this is like this is all somebody's reference, but I don't know where. But okay. As related by Rajatma. Okay, give me a second. There's a lot of letters in a row. Baslaraj. Oh my gosh. We're not gonna get it quickly. Baslira Siraj. Yeah, there you go. Baslira Siraj Sharat in SCP-001 Jade. The Nalka culture group has roots in the Deva of Mamjul and Kurar. As part of the Devic initiative to settle the rest of Asia, a colonial group of several thousand Deva and their slaves were dispatched to the land surrounding the Yellow Sea. The impossibility of communication meant that after years of no word from the new colony, it was generally assumed by the Deva that the colony had failed. It was only several centuries later that they encountered the Nalka, and even later that the possible connection between the Nalka and the failed Deva colonial project was discovered. Until the translation of the 3rd tablet, the sole point of evidence for the Deva claim of inheritance was the Rajmata herself. Prior to her death, she insisted that she later recognized one of the slaves in the colonial group as the man who would eventually become Witch King Ian. I love how people try and paint the Foundation as the good guys with the whole, we die in the dark so you can live in the light. No, you do it because you're the only one skilled enough to, and you didn't. If you didn't, the world would just end. Yeah, and It also, because you started off wanting to control weird things so that you could have power, I would also say. Blame it on the black star, blame it on the falling sky, blame it on the satellite. What the hell? Also, I hear your jingles. There's a kitty not far, just being noisy. So what we were getting is that Rajmata, was saying that she recognized one of the people, the Witch King, Ian, because she knew him as one of the slaves previously, but they had been sent. They thought they failed, and then, oh, there they are. Okay. Here's the Hussein hypothesis, previously you referenced. The Hussein hypothesis meant to provide a possible answer for why the Foundation had been unable to locate Black Adytum. Well, my goodness. Somebody's yowling. I'm worried those two are fighting. They're being jingling and yowling. Not a good sign. A Hussein hypothesis meant to provide a possible answer for why the Foundation had been unable to locate Black Adytum despite a 3-decade-long search, was first publicly submitted to the Foundation Academic Service at the 2032 Paris Conference by then Deputy Director Youssef Hussein. Abstract. For 3 decades, parahistorians and archaeologists have dedicated their efforts towards locating the legendary capital city-state of the Nauka culture group, Black Adytum. Initiated by the Foundation in the early 2000s, the search has expanded throughout Central East Asia and has yielded findings suggesting Naukan settlements in China, Mongolia, and Siberia, with concrete geographical and temporal links to the Xia and Shang dynasties of Imperial China. Of particular interest, there have been discoveries at Shang archaeological sites of several mummified corpses and bone carvings which bear the hallmarks Naukan culture and religion. However, in this paper, I will contend that the evidence suggests that the Nauka were a confederation of several autonomous nomadic tribes without a central capital or leadership throughout most of their history. Archaeological evidence also supports a tribal unification in a defensive effort against Black Star entity before eventual assimilation into Shang culture as a religious minority. It is therefore reasonable to suggest that Black Adytum never existed as an imperial capital as previously assumed, but perhaps instead an abstract concept of unification or some lost cultural ideal. That was the abstract from the paper that Hussein submitted, the hypothesis. Oh, that is a very good point. Thank you for pinning that. Bless you, do, for figuring that out. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I didn't think of putting it in chat instead of on screen. I just knew that I didn't have it on screen. I didn't want to mess with OBS too much more. Thank you. Everybody thank Do. Do was great. Thank you so much. Alright. Shia. Okay, Shia. The Hussein hypothesis was initially controversial, but over the following decade, a continued